spot. Don't say that. Don't say that out loud. I know, they're gonna get mad. They're gonna complain about me. They don't know my name though. I've already introduced myself, Paul, and our driver, Graham. And Graham and I have a co-host on the ride who's going to pop up on the monitors every now and then to tell you about some of the areas we're going through. You might know him from shows like Saturday Night Live or Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. Our co-host is Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
His name is Paul.
And the greatest driver.
His name is Graham.
They're the best. I love that. Even though
Poor guy Paul
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to go on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Yes, Jimmy, if you look right above your head, down the center of the tram room, there's a cord. It's the emergency cord. So if you have an emergency during our tour and you want us to stop the tram, if you have a medical emergency, if you're experiencing sound problems or video problems, or if you accidentally drop something over the side of the tram and you need it, like a small child that you didn't put in the middle when I told you, you can reach up and pull on the emergency cord. We know to stop the tram. I'll come back there to help you out. Remain seated while our tram is moving. Keep your arms and legs inside at all times, and no smoking on the tour. Universal Studios has officially been in business for over 100 years. We started our company in 1912, and as you look on both sides of the tram, you can see all these movie posters from classic films that we've released over the last 100 years. And right now I'm going to play about a 30-second clip from a classic 1940s film that was done here on the lot. And after I play this clip, I'll explain what it has to do with this Carver studio. What movie is this?
I have the room ready for you, Mrs. Barrington. Thank you.
Did you hear that? Mrs. Barrington.
Not quite, darling, but soon. Very, very soon.
Hello. Yes?
Every bottle of champagne sent to the room at once. And make sure that we are not disturbed for any reason.
Wait a minute. That's Jimmy Fallon. That's not a classic 1940s movie. In fact, that's not even shot in a hotel. Look at this. The reason that I played that clip, that's a good example of what it looks like when we film something inside of a soundstage, but we make it look like it was done somewhere else. And right now we're going to drive by several of our stages where our filming is done. The first soundstage on the left is stage 12. That one's used for The Voice, our singing competition show. It's one of the biggest sound stages in the world too. So over the years, that's where we built and filmed some of our biggest sets. Inside stage 12, we made the laboratory in Frankenstein, Dracula's castle, Tony Montana's mansion, the clock tower set from Back to the Future, the visitor center from Jurassic Park, Whoville from How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and the big resort in Company's Retreat. All of those sets were built inside that one stage. That's a big stage. On the left side of the tram now on the corner is stage 25. This one's used for CSI. The crime lab on CSI is built inside this stage. So this is where they do the CSI that takes place in Las Vegas. Very little of CSI Las Vegas is filmed in Las Vegas. It's usually done here. They use 4 stages on our lot for that series, so not just 25. They also use 24, 23, and 22. Stages 23 and 22, it looks like the doors are open. As we drive by, you might be able to see some of the sets that they're building for the show. A lot of times during the week, we drive by here, Ted Danson or the other stars of CSI are standing out here. So a lot of times we drive right by them. I'm going to show you a scene from an episode of CSI that was filming right here on this road, and they even got the tram in the episode. So one day some people came and took the tour, and they ended up on CSI. There they go. It's a quick shot, but they're still in the episode, so that's kind of cool. In this episode, they went to a movie studio. So all the places that you see them going on screen, we are going to take you to. We do a lot of other shows here on the lot, not just The Voice and CSI. This is also where we tape a talk show called Chelsea Lately. It stars Chelsea Handler. Go On with Matthew Perry is done here. I already mentioned the Mindy Project is filming on our lot today. We're going to be driving by where they're doing that. Parenthood with Craig T. Nelson and Lauren Graham is filmed here. And my co-host, Jimmy Fallon, is the executive producer of Guys with Kids. That's done inside Soundstage 41 on the right. I also want to mention Universal Studios is part of NBC Universal. It's one of the biggest entertainment companies in the world. This media powerhouse not only consists of a movie studio, but also a lot of famous networks like NBC, E, Sci-Fi, Bravo, USA, Telemundo, the Golf Channel, CNBC, MSNBC, the Weather Channel, Oxygen, and NBC Sports. I memorized all those networks. You probably think I was just reading those off the screen. I memorized the entire tour, which is not an easy thing to do. I wasn't asking you. Stop it. I appreciate that. Over here on the left side of the tram, we've got offices for famous writers, directors, and producers. The first office is Illumination Entertainment, the producers of Despicable Me, Hop, and The Lorax. And right now they're in the middle of production of Despicable Me 2. That's going to be coming out this summer. Hasbro Productions has an office here. Hasbro is a famous toy company. Why is there a toy company on a movie studio lot? Because they produce movies based on their toys. The Transformers and Battleship, those are Hasbro Productions. You'll know which office belongs to a toy company. There's a giant Mr. Potato Head in front of it. Kids like Mr. Potato Head. And right next to Hasbro is a famous office. 5195. Look right next to the number. There's a profile of the master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock. That was Hitchcock's office back in the 60s. And he was known for cameos. Almost every time he made a movie, he tried to put himself somewhere in the film. This is what he looked like.
Good evening. My name is Alfred Hitchcock.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
You've seen the blood.
Alfred Hitchcock shot a lot of his movies out here on the left side of the tram. This is our back lot, where we have all of our exterior sets. The first area that we're passing by here on the left is called New York Street. That was used as New York in The Amazing Spider-Man. It was also used for another superhero film, Captain America, The First Avenger. For that film, that was supposed to be Brooklyn, and they dressed up the sets to make it look like it was the 1940s. Not only is Graham going to make a U-turn around this giant backdrop, and we're going to be driving through the sets where they filmed those movies, we're also going to be driving right next to an area where they're doing some filming today. This is the section of the backlot where they're filming the Mindy Project. Hopefully they're out there filming already. They might come out here a little later in the day. But I do need to be off the microphone for our first quiet zone as we make this U-turn around the backdrop. But you're going to be able to get some good pictures of who they did The Amazing Spider-Man and Captain America. And I'll talk to you again in just a few minutes. York.
Yeah, that's
Last good photo of New York Street off to the right before we head up to the next part of the tour, where I have an Academy Award-winning director, the director of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings films. Peter Jackson is going to tell you about this giant building on the right.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up into the edge. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, you know, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand, because